So okay, enough of this. And then, well, that's the same thing that I saw there on that video. That here was ice, snow, and there was just greenery, and I was like, wow, funny. And it was in line like this too. Right. Let me go on. So the metaphors is the only thing that you're gonna use, and then you have, let me see, destinations under threat: over tourism, rising sea risk, which bullshit. I just read it to you. Proverbs 8. Climate change. The Heavenly Father said the earth abideth forever. They said the Dead Sea is shrinking. Yeah, whatever. You're shrinking it. Here. Here's the example. Part 3. Raising a generation of travel transformers. Who's raising these kids? You guessed it. They are. They're raising the children. The consumer mindset. The children are going to be the consumers, and they need to change their minds. Values and behaviors. They're checking your behaviors. And generational alpha, of generation alpha beginning, the beginning generation, have the potential to drive transformation within the travel industry. No, they don't have no goddamn potential. They have the how you call that thing? Go along because they know nothing else. You see, if you have a Chinese person from China living amongst cave monkeys, and then you let him there, he's going to treat dogs like a pet and not like food, because you might fuck him too. But he's going to adapt the cave mammal mannerisms and stuff like that, right? Because he's grown up among them, so he's going to start taking on their customs. So when you, after 3 generations of living there, grandfather came, and then the mother, father came, and then made children there. Those children grow up and made children there. Those children grow up and made children there. Those children grow up, made children there, and then that family goes back to China to their own family and stuff like that. Haven't seen themselves in the four generations, and then go back over there. And then the family might say like, hey, and so when we finna eat this puppy today, they're not gonna want to eat that. They're not gonna want to eat that because they have been raised different. They're not gonna want to eat that. They're gonna want to go back to America where they feel comfortable and safe. That's their buzzword, safe and comfortable. Well, that's the same thing that they're doing to the children right here, because you have your children like what, 4 hours a day. And when they go to high school, you have like 1 hour a day, which is, for example, let's say, your children, you need to wake up in the morning 6 o'clock. Then you need to be in school, or let's say you wake up 7 o'clock, right, for your kids. Your kids need to be at school 8 o'clock, sometimes 8:30. Some schools are 9. But anyway, I'm going to just keep it here. I'm going to just keep it easy for me to count, to explain. So 8 o'clock. And then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And your children are coming home. No. They are free from school 4 o'clock, 8 hour school. Then you go pick them up at 4, sorry. And then around 5 o'clock you're home. It depends on where you live. Sometimes it's half past 4, which is then therefore on the 6th. But I'm just showing here. But anyway, so here around 5 o'clock. Let's say that, right? So now you have your children from 1 hour. You've been with them 1 hour in the drive home. 2 hours you're home eating and stuff like that. 3 hours, 4 hours. They gotta go back to bed. And then they sleep until 7 o'clock again. And then 8 o'clock, you got to bring them back to school. And then you do the same thing Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay. So you have your children for from 4 to 8. You're not going to really 100% spend time with them because you got to drive home. That's 1. Second, you got to make food. That's 2. Third, you're kind of tired right about now. Fourth, you got to send them back to bed. So how long do you actually spend time with your children? Maybe 2 hours. maybe 2 hours a day, 3 hours it could be. From the meal until it's time to go to bed, and you kind of watch them. Sometimes you're tired, you go to sleep, or you just lay down and just do nothing. So you're not really talking with them what they learned at school, or trying to deprogram them, because they're gonna come with Caesar Borgia to them, 100%. Well, not now, maybe, but here they do come with Caesar Borgia, because I remember my little niece came home, start talking this Caesar Borgia bullshit, and then I was talking to her. Then I found out that she hate brown skin people. She finds, not hate, but she finds it ugly. I said, then I grab a picture of Miley Cyrus and I grab a picture of Beyonce, and I said, which one is beautiful? Then she said Miley Cyrus, before she was a prostitute. When she was small, she was young. She had that stupid show. Yeah, so I said, why don't you want this? Then she said, no, she's brown. I said, what the fuck? I said, you're darker than her. Then she said, no, I'm not. I said, yes, you are. So I started deprogramming her dumbass. She was like, what, 6 years old or something like that? 5, 6. So I deprogrammed her. It took a while, but one time I was just laying, I was watching something, I don't know what. And then she came to my room and said, can I talk to you? And I said, what? And this was like maybe a year or 2 years later. And she said, you know what? I do like brown. It's beautiful. So, and I was like, man, worked off. Shit. I was really, So I know why the Arabs here in the Netherlands, the Arab people don't allow their children to go to Caucasian schools. And that's one of the reasons these devils are angry, because they want them to integrate. They want them to mingle, because they can program you. They're fucking angry. But you can't fight them, because once they get together, it's going to be a riot. So they kind of trying to trick them the other way, make them feel guilty and stuff like that. Yeah, you're not progressing, you're not integrating, they're trying to make them feel guilty. And a lot of them actually do, especially the females that are westernized, and those are going to let their westernized children mess up the other ones that are, they're going to try to make them feel, it's all guilt trip. But anyway, but I do know what they're doing, so I am aware of it, that they train them in school, and they want you to mingle so that they can get you. They can get you real good. So how many hours do you have your children? Basically, about 4. How many hours do you spend with your children? Maybe 2. But then, once the children go to high school and they start getting homework at home, then you might spend 1 hour with your child, man. Sometimes not days. You're not even really talking with your children, because you're too tired, you're too busy, you're too doing this, doing that. They're too busy and doing this and doing that activities. Because I saw a documentary that they show you why they created after school activities, to keep your children focused on bread and circus. That's why. Because then they get to feel proud. Because back in the days, school was not about popularity and being the it was always against the jocks and stuff like that, because they bullies and stuff like that. You need to be with friendly people and stuff like that, have a good mind mentality. Then gradually the shows on television started to become about popularity, because I remember Saved by the Bell with Zach Moore. Zach Moore or something like that. Yeah, Zach Morris. I remember this Saved by the Bell. It was nothing about popularity, just dumb shit. He was just a fun kid doing fun stuff in school, just funny things. I actually enjoyed this show. But then it started to become a popularity contest with, these, I don't even know these things, man. I just saw a few things, and I thought to myself, this is some bullshit. This was a so-called popular chick. This is a raccoon, not a turtle. She's a raccoon. Lisa Turtle. She's a fucking raccoon, as you can see here. She got the makeup on, looking like a bandit. Eaten by bandit. Black woman is gone, man. I'm telling you, they're gone. Looking like a fucking raccoon. Call yourself a turtle. It's omen to a certain degree. trying to be a wife. Woo, look at her over here. She thinks she's pretty. But anyway, it started to become a popular test, a quest, popularity quest. But that's what they're doing. They programming, re-gearing the children to form them into fighters for their cause. They're gonna control your mindset of the children, of course. Raising a generation of travel transformers. They're gonna be the ones at the TSA slapping the shit out you for not doing what the elites told them to tell you not to do. And they're gonna be like, we're doing this for you. It's your safety. Yeah, man, you got these devils, man. They're funny, man. They're devils. You know, it's just funny looking at these Edomites and seeing what they're doing. Like, wow, this is some devil shit. Now I know why the Most High is gonna wipe you out of existence. This conscientious cohort will be keeping tabs. Yes. These people, conscientious. Let me look up this word. Conscientious. Conscious. What's it? I don't even know how you spell it. Conscientious. Wishing to do one's work. See, I told you. Or duty well and thoroughly. These are the TSA agents of the world of the future. They're gonna force some shit on you, man. They're gonna slap little old ladies and shit like that. Oh, it's a male. It's not a lady. I mean females. They're gonna slap little old females and push them around and beat them up. It's some South Park shit. These are the type of people that's gonna rule. I mean, and be like they're gonna keep surveillance on people, watching you in your toilet, and everybody's gonna be the TSA is in your toilet, man, in your privacy. They're gonna shove things up your ass. You know what I'm saying? Look for stuff, place all items in tray, remove all footwear and underwear, all outerwear. Allow TSA inspections. They're gonna force you if you don't comply. You ain't going nowhere. Buckle your safety belt. Now this is the travel ban. I'm telling you, man. Them South Park people, they be making funny stuff. But if you know the scriptures and you know the future through their bullshit, what they're doing and reading their stuff, you're gonna be laughing at these type of shows. Like, damn, this guy he's really a genius. He's an evil genius. He's our evil twin. He's our evil twin, man. I'm telling you, he's a funny devil. You know. Anyway, you should watch this South Park episode. Where is it? Reverse call? Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah. I'll put the link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. The TSA, man, they gonna use these black females to come she's gonna be the pit bull of Esau, man. Gonna be a bunch of pit bulls. You know, they're gonna use them. And they're gonna use their kids too, you know, the new generation. This conscientious, how you pronounce that? Let me see. Let me put this here so I don't forget it. Right. What's this word? Conscientious. Conscientious. Wishing to do one's work or duty well and thoroughly. Relating to a person's conscience. Because they really gonna believe that they're actually doing good. This conscientious cohort will be keeping tabs on the travel industry, including on tour operations and hotels. TSA agents. And they too, goddamn bitches, man. They doing their work real thoroughly. I'm telling you, they're doing their work, man. You should watch this episode. Like I said, I'm gonna put it in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. If you don't like South Park, I don't know, man. I think it's funny because I see what they're doing. They will want to know how companies are supporting social and environmental initiatives before spending their money with them. Right. Why? Because they're going to program these kids to be environmentalist type crazy people like this guy over here. Protect the environment. They're gonna raise them like that. Oh, did I skip over? Yeah. Well, I don't want to actually read too much about this thing. Let me see. I'm gonna leave the link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself, or you could just press pause and check it out for yourself. In 2018, Interpret Travel launched its women's expedition. Why? Through her, we all die. They're gonna get you. They're gonna get these females, and these females are gonna do some shit to you, man. They're gonna be on a power trip. Yo, watch this episode and see what these black females are allowed to do. They have the power to do so. Who gave them? That little cave monkey that you see standing behind. Well, actually, it was this one. But anyways, either Esau gave them that power, you know. And you're just gonna have to follow the rules until that time comes. Watch you. Watch out, you women that are at ease. Careful, you know. You careless daughters. It says all women group led by local female leaders. That sounds like trouble. Which quickly became its most successful product range. Yeah, that's what they're saying. According to statistics, shit that they start up and manage always fucks up. You know, women first futures. Yep. They're creating stuff like that. With open space scarce cities, locations with limited infrastructure look set to benefit from mobility experimentations. You're going to be a guinea pig, and then they're going to experiment you, letting you loose in the wild and just places and stuff like that to do stuff with you. Connecting us to connecting you people to new places and overcome geographical barriers which you set up. Funny people. That's why you gotta laugh at these devils, because they're funny with it. This looks like a prison, but you can see through like windows. Yeah, five regenerative destinations, which they're going to pick for you. This looks like a jail cell with a fancy window. It's not gonna look like that, by the way. It's important to note real-time footprints. Once you Edomites off yourself, then it would be less people upon the planet Earth to do so, right? Layering artificial nonsense. The conclusion is he's going to trap you. The dawn of a new era of travel beckons. One where a culture of extraction has no place. The resounding call to action, and now or never rhetoric, must echo through the travel industry, guiding us, or you people, just like how you see they guide the cows into the smaller route, and then they ship you off to certain places where they want, which is, for example, ship you off to places like this in your little jail cell with windows that you can't break. It's probably stronger than glass because they got shit like stone because they got shit like that. Glass that you can't break. You hit you breaking your bones, man. They got stuff like that for you. Concentration camp type things. Yeah, it looks fancy, but it isn't. Must echo to guiding us away from a world marked by unsustainable values. Really. Okay, right. Okay, this is enough. So now going back to over here. Now, wait, let me go through it. Okay, this is they're doing this. Now you have the no, it's this one, this here. Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. Fear none of those, so this is what we need to do. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Revelation 3:10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. The Most High is going to protect us, man. He's going to make sure that we don't get tempted like that. Every man is going to get tempted, but the hour of temptation, which is really Jacob's trouble, like almost the end, the Lord is going to hold your hand, man. He's going to hold thy right hand, just like he did with Cyrus, even. Isaiah 54:1. which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. And also, like he did say in the book of Isaiah, chapter 41, actually. I will hold thy hand, right hand, Jacob. Right, so here you have conform, of course. Okay, right. So, when I read these things, you might think like, because I just referenced the movie, I forgot what movie I referenced. I referenced the movie, but I forgot what movie. But I know I did. I think I did. And you might say like, hey, well, wait a minute. Why are you using, movies and stuff like that? Oh yeah, I referenced South Park, but I referenced another movie too, but I forgot. Sorry. But the point is this. Now they're saying global. Oh yeah, that's what I was. Yeah. Phew. I almost forgot.
4.5 billion euros to 5 times that figure by 2027. About 1/5 of this labor possibility.
Clear by going to
labor possibility.
Most people know Clear by going to the airport. It was born after 9/11. This is another crisis with a new component that's being born. Explain what this product is in terms of how it's going to work relating to COVID.
So you're right. Clear was born out of 9/11, and it was about a public-private partnership leveraging innovation to enhance homeland security.
Never let a good crisis go to waste.
And delight customers. And that was really the beginning of Screening 1.0. And just like screening was forever changed post 9/11, in a post-COVID environment, you're going to see screening and public safety significantly shift. But this time it's beyond airports, right? It's sports stadium, it's retail, as Dana talked about. It's office buildings, it's restaurants.
And now Finland has taken the passport technology to another level. The European nation has become the world's first country to test digital passports. Labeled Digital Travel Credentials, or DTC, it's an alternative to the traditional passport check at airports. In other words, it's a digital rendition of a physical passport. To use it, Finnish citizens first need to download an app on their phone and physically register at a dedicated police station.
They're going, because listen, you have, for example, I watch a lot of crime investigation type of series and documentaries. They don't have because sometimes they find the DNA of a person, but they can't find it in the codex thing. Codex? I forgot the name. They can't find it in the system because the person is not registered and the person has never been caught doing a crime. So they don't have that person's identification, but actually I'm looking for DNA. They don't have that person's DNA on file. So now they might go like 30 years, 20 years, sometimes longer, sometimes faster, without actually catching that person. Because if they had that person on file, then they would just find you, and because they found your DNA on the crime scene, so they could just come to your house and know who you are and just grab you up and put you in jail for the crime that you committed 20 years ago or something like that. But they don't have that. So now they want that. Every single individual person will be logged. That's what they want. And now they can track people through your cell phone, right? Which soon they're going to chip you. And then they can track you through that. Because I've seen a lot of crimes get solved by people that had their phone on. And their phone pinned them at the crime scene or near the crime scene while they said that they was off somewhere else and stuff like that. So your phone is a witness against you. And that's what they want to create, right? That's among one of the many things that they want to create, which is total control over you and everything that you stand for and don't stand for, just you.
Digital copy of the passport is created by scanning the chip inside a real one. It is designed to be stored on a smartphone.
Passport wasn't invented just for cross-border travel. That was the original intent. What else do we use it for today? We use it for many, many, many things. So we see this as a first step of having a trusted identity that, much like the passport that was invented to enable you to cross border, today you use it to open a bank account.
You can see that this fucking fool can't even talk English good because she said a passport was not invented for And then she said, well, it was invented for. Idiot. You don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But the point is that Amalek is letting these beasts loose. Female bosses are very irritating. I'm telling you. Because they want to force some shit on you, man. Because they know without Esau, they don't have no power. So once they get that, they start they just want, they mean. They's mean bitches.
To drive a car, to get a driving license, rent an apartment, get a job, so on and so forth. So we think this is very much a first step.
Today, regulators in California
Did you hear all that? They're going to force you to that thing.
are expected to approve new rules that will ultimately ban the sale of gas-powered cars in the state by 2035.
This is really important for reducing climate changing emissions. I mean, simply put, we can't address climate change without addressing...
You know he has pink panties under these clothing, right? You can just see it in his face.
transportation emissions. It's the largest source of emissions in California.
The new rules will require 35% of new cars sold by 2026 to produce zero emissions. That number climbs to 68% by 2030. And by 2035, all new cars sold in California must be free of greenhouse gas emissions.
What can you do in 15 minutes? Empty the washing machine and hang up your fresh laundry? Read a couple of chapters of your favourite book? Watch half an episode of How I Met Your Mother? Well, creepy local authority bureaucrats would like to see your entire existence boiled down to the duration of a quarter of an hour, with the arrival of so-called 15-minute cities. This dystopian plan will see roads in some of Britain's most iconic towns and cities being blocked off, with cars being restricted to certain areas, all overseen by number plate recognition cameras installed everywhere, with a surveillance culture that would make Pyongyang envious.
They funny. What does the word dystopia mean, right? Because they throwing that word around. Dystopia. An imagined state or society in which there is great suffering or injustice, typically one that is totalitarian or post-apocalyptic. Totalitarian, right. Relating to a system or of government that is centralized and dictatorial, meaning they're going to dictate to you what the fuck you are allowed to do and that, and require complete subservience. You're going to be a slave to the state. Authoritarian. Authoritarian, okay? Autocratic, yeah. Dictatorial, yeah. Tyrannical, tyrant, dictator. Yeah, it goes into that. That's what it is. Dystopia. Dystopian. That's what they're talking about.
In some places, your car would have an allowance to drive on certain streets for a fixed number of days in the year. Some roads out of bounds to all.
So your car is going to have an allowance. So on the side of you paying taxes, road taxes, you have some kind of insurance, yeah, and I think your APK, I don't know what, something. So you have already like 3 payments already on your car. Then here comes an allowance with it too. It's going to be like maybe you are only allowed to have like $20 a day, but maybe $50 or something a year. And if you spend that, then you're going to start to have to pay. He's going to explain it to you, this guy.
Tell us what's going on in London. How crazy is it?
Now, this is happening in London right now. Tell us what's going on in London. And this is London also. Actually, it's UK, but still.
Roads out of bounds to all.
So tell us what's going on in London. How crazy is it getting? They're trying to stop you from driving? Burning wood?
So here's the background. The background, of course, is all about climate change. Climate change.
It's all about climate change, and now they're saying that the climate is getting hotter and hotter, right? But I have a funny thing to show you concerning their lies. Now, this is the here. So I went to this little devil just to show you how, man, I'm telling you, I hate Edomites, man. I know, especially these types. You see, some of them are funny when they do the little devil shit. You know, I'm laughing at it. I'm not laughing at this guy, man. He's you know, a Biden, either a Biden devil. I laugh at him because he's stupid. You know, he's a dummy. He's clumsy. He don't know what he's doing. But when the Edomite is like, you know, these types, I'm not laughing, boy. I'm not laughing. Anyway. In fact, so they got to put the fact there, right? That's already a trigger where trying to mess with your mind. It's like this. I'm telling you, they're messing with your mind. You think they're stupid. If you see a price named $9.99, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Oh, it's €9. No, it's not. It's 10. He tricked you. They're playing with you. Everything with 99 in the back of it is a trick. It's a trick. You're not really going to get that 1 cent back. And even if you do, what are you going to do with it? Buy something? Right. That's one. Second, you should already know. The owl. He can see in the dark and you cannot. So, it says here super sense. It says here 59 seconds. Is that a fact? Another fact shit here. Like fact check bullshit. Here comes Scaresagan. One Caresagan. Okay, I'm not gonna try and read all that there because it's stupid. You're gonna have here predictability, irrational. So this, they're busy with that. Then it says here escaping the rabbit hole, and here it says flim flam. I did not read all this because I don't want to turn my neck. I can make a picture of this, a screen picture, then I turn it around and read normally, but I don't want to because I hate this whole thing. So, flim flam. What is flim flam? I remember that from this guy, Flim Flam, Scooby. I remember this from Flim Flam. And then I remember also when I was younger, I looked up the name Flim Flam because I found it dope. This one. I only remember this one. I don't know this one. I don't know this one. I only remember, this one I remember. Flim Flam, when he was young. And he was just like Scrappy Doo, always looking for a fight. That's why I liked him. But yeah. So I saw that and and I'm gonna give you the reason that it's not far-fetched for me to look up in the background what kind of books they have there. I'm gonna give you a rundown why I did that. So you had Balenciaga, right? Axed Balenciaga campaign featured book by artists whose works include castrated toddlers. This guy, he has shit like that, paintings like that. I'm not gonna click on it. You can click on it for yourself if you want to. I'll leave the link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. So here he has, I put it here. Okay, here it says here, this axed Balenciaga ad with Isabella Huppert features a book by painter Michael Boremans. Right. It's in the background, so they always like to put shit right there. Well, I'm gonna stop it. The Belgian artist's work often featured children and even depictions of castrated toddlers. Okay, cool. You can play the rest for yourself if you have the time, right? So it's in the background there. So now you kind of know why I looked in the background, but I saw it in the comic book too. Well, I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, okay. Just check it out for yourself. I'll leave the link in the description box. So now you have the rabbit hole. Oh yeah. Wait a minute. If you look here, you will see escaping the rabbit hole. This guy is a fucking witch. He's gonna lie to you. Check out the first thing that he says.
No, climate scientists in the 1970s did not think the Earth was cooling, and we were headed for another ice age.
Did you hear that fucking tongue? Man, come on, man. I can't speak normal about these people, man. These type of Edomites, man. It's irritating that they're here, they're existing, they're breathing. It's just irritating. But hear him again.
No, climate scientists in the 1970s did not think the Earth was cooling, and we were headed for another ice age.
They didn't think that? This guy literally is the guy that brought this whole thing to come about. His name is Leonard Nimoy. Anyway, I'm gonna give you a shorted version of what he is doing. Of course, you get the. Okay, so I typed in 1970s coming ice age, and then you have this one here: weather manipulation is not climate change. That's a good one. But anyway, this video. Now, check this out.
He's literally cooking. The era of global warming has ended. The era of global boiling has arrived.
Hey, they just figure out some new shit. Meanwhile, it's still cold as hell.
We have moved from the era of global warming to the era
of global boiling.
Of global boiling. The era of global warming has ended, and the era of global boiling has arrived.
As the UN Secretary General says, we have entered the era of global warming.
Our environment is facing collapse. Our planet is choking.
The era of global boiling has arrived.
Death, disease, displacement, starvation, people dying of thirst, arable farming lands turning into desert, and most likely billions of people dead by the end of this century.
The UN Secretary General has warned that we've
He's really into it.
era of global boiling.
The era of global boiling has
Reactor.
Can you get any clearer than that? Just this week, the UN chief has told us that the era of global boiling has arrived.
The era of global boiling has arrived.
The climate change is here. It's terrifying, and it's just the beginning.
Many people are going to have to die.
We have now entered the era of global boiling. The era of global boiling has arrived.
The era of global warming has ended.
The era of global boiling has arrived.
And the era of global boiling has arrived.
The air is unbreathable.
The air is unbreathable.
The heat is unbearable.
If this was real, who's the cause of this? White people. What should we need to do? Somebody need to take care of that.
The heat is unbearable.
The level of fossil fuel profits and climate inaction is unacceptable.
Somebody needs to do something about that.
And the level of fossil fuel profits and climate inaction is unacceptable.
Leonard Nimoy warned of the coming ice age, but off of who? Off of the scientists that he was talking to, so-called.
In 1977, the world century struck the United States.
It was featured in Time, How to Survive the Coming Ice Age. Living with cancer. Okay.
Arctic cold gripped the Midwest for weeks on end. Great blizzards power.
The thing that you hear in the background, that's a movie sound effect, okay? Ain't no way that shit sound like that the whole time. They tricking you again. Movie magic, they call it. It's witchcraft.
paralyzed cities of the Northeast. One desperate night in Buffalo, 8 people froze to death in marooned cars. Pat Bushnell was on the road that night.
Ain't no way in your mama's lifetime have you ever heard in an actual real footage of taping, like with the camera, with a busted up camera from back in the days, you know, the 480, the 720, before the 720, man, the 360, the 480, you know, the real poor cameras from back in the days. You don't hear this sound, man. That's a movie sound. They're lying to you.
In marooned cars. Pat Bushnell was on the road that night.
Traffic just absolutely stopped. I was afraid of being stuck in the car all night long with the cold and the wind, running out of gas. And then what?
Running out of gas? Why don't you fill up the tank, bitch?
I think that if we had to go through...
You know it's winter time. Why wouldn't you fill up the gas?
A real bad winter.
Sell yourself.
Just like we just went through. I think we'd have to think about moving someplace else.
Move where? The brutal Buffalo winter might become common all over the United States.
Really? Is that what you was predicting in those days? Really? So in the 1970s, it was the global ice age. It was the ice age. Now it's the boiling point. There's not no more global warming. It's global boiling. That's a new word, a new buzzword. It's great. You just figure shit out every other 30 years. In this case, what is 50? I think it's what, 20 and then 20. It's 40. Yeah, 40, about 40 years. 50, whatever. Anyway, I'm going to leave the link in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. And here you have the fuller